Cek 1, 2, 3.
Pak, ente mau keluar, Pak? Lama nggak ya? Iya. Udah, Bu.
Check 1, 2, 3. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sriwijaya Welfare Festival is an event held by IRSSA Sriwijaya University in commemoration of World Environment Day. This event consists of various activities, namely infographic competition, essay competition, speech competition, and webinars. Today, we are carrying out one of the series of the activities, namely webinar. And at the end of the event, there will be an announcement of the winners of the competition that have been carried out. Welcome to the Sriwijaya Welfare Festival webinar, Stop Ocean Plastic Pollution. This event was held to celebrate World Environment Day. This webinar was held to provide awareness toward to concrete action on the importance of protecting the ocean and provide general knowledge about marine conservation for the future. The Honorable Dean Deputy 3 of Faculty Social and Political Science, Sriwijaya University, Mr. Dr. Andreas Leonardo, Magister Science, the Honorable Head of International Relations Department of Faculty Social and Political Science, Sriwijaya University, Mr. Sofyan Effendi, SIP, Magister Science. The Honorable Supervisor of IRSSA Sriwijaya University, Mr. Abdul Halim, SIP, MA. And respectable for all participants of this webinar. First of all, let us praise and thank God because at this happy time, we still given help so that we can gather in this webinar. Let me introduce myself. I am Royni Aristi, student of International Relations of Faculty Social and Political Science, Sriwijaya University. Faculty of Social and Political Science, Sriwijaya University, who this time was given the opportunity to be the Master of Ceremony at the Sriwijaya Welfare Festival webinar, Stop Ocean Plastic Pollution. And today, we will listen to material presentation from our two speakers. The first is Ms. Rainbow Leung, as founder of Sustainable Ocean Alliance Hong Kong and research for Eco Shoreline Team, City University of Hong Kong. And the second speaker is Mr. Mujizat Alam, as chairman of IKL Unpad, founder of National Oceanographic and BUMN Define ID Officer. We also thanks to the 20 media partners who have supported this event, namely BEM UKMC, BUKSTFT Unsri, DPM FISIP, Event Nasional.idn, Event Campus, Info Event Nasional, Webinar Indonesia.info, FKMHII, Himaja Unsri, Hima Festival Unsri, Himasos Unsri, Komahi UGM, National Oceanographic, PASA, Waki Unsri, Saya Pilih Bumi, Cogito Unsri, BEM KM FISIP Unsri, PT Bukit Asam, dan Dinas Perhubungan. Alright, before we start this event, let's sing the Indonesian anthem. Well, then will be a prayer. Hoirun Adin, time and place are welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, everyone, before we start today's webinar, it's a good idea to pray first according to our respective beliefs and religions, and the Muslims led by me. Auzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim, hamda syakirin, hamda na'imin, hamda yuafi ni'ma wa ikabiyu mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yang bagi rijalali wajrikal karim wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma fir lana zunubana wa liwalidina warhamhum kama rabbayana shaghira. Allahumma inna nas'aluka ridhaka wal jannah wa na'udzubika min syautika wan nar. Allahumma inna nas'aluka salamatan fid din wa afiatan fil jasad, wa ziyadatan fil ilmi wa barakatan fil rizqi, wa taubatan qoblal maut, wa rahmatan indal maut wa maghfiratan ba'dal maut. Allahumma hawin alaina fi sakaratil maut wa najata minan nari wal afwa indal hisab. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dzurriyyatina qurrata a'yunin waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Subhana rabbika izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Hoirun Adin, for leading the prayer today. And next, I would like to read the rules for Sriwijaya Welfare Festival webinar today. The first is, this webinar will be start at 9:45 West Indonesian time zone. Participants are allowed to join 15 minutes before the event start and are welcome to enter the Zoom meeting when accepted by the committee. The second is change the name when entering a Zoom meeting with name_institution and using the Zoom background provided by the committee. And number 3, during the event, the microphone is not allowed turn on except when is allowed to speak. 4, participants are expected to listen to the webinar from the beginning till the end of the event and are not allowed to do things that can disrupt the continuity of the event. And number 5, all participants are advised to active the camera during the event. Number 6, participants can ask in the question and answer session and in accordance with the direction from the moderators. And number 7, the attendance link will be provided and sent by the committee via the Zoom chat column at the end of the event. And the last, all participants are expected to follow the event until the end because there will be a game, door prize, and announce the winner of the competition. And next, let me read our agenda today's. First one is opening singing Indonesia Raya, chanting prayers. And next, opening speech by Chief Executive Deputy Region of IRSSA, Head of the Department of International Relations, and Deputy Dean 3. Next, we will documentation session. And next, material exposure is promoting activity to stop littering in Indonesia seas. And Q&A session 1, and then certificate submission 1,
certificate submissions
and then
1,
presentation for material 2,
presentation of material 2,
preservation of the world marine
preservation of the world
ecosystems so
marine
that they don't become extinct along
ecosystem so
with
that
the times.
become
And Q&A session 2, certificate submission 2, and games, and then closing. Next agenda will be a welcoming speech. Allow us to invite Ms. Belva Zerianisa Saimora as the Chief Executive of the Sriwijaya Welfare Festival 2.0. For Ms. Belva Zerianisa Saimora, please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us blessings and mercies so we can attend today's in a good condition. The Honorable Deputy Dean 3 for the Faculty of Social Political University, Mr. Dr. Andreas Leonardo MSE, the Honorable Head of the Department of International Relations, Mr. Sofian Effendi SIPMSC, Honorable Officer of International Relations Sriwijaya Student Association, SIPMN, as well as the participants who attended the International Zoom webinar Sriwijaya Welfare Festival with the subtheme of Stop Ocean Plastic Pollution. I hope this event can run smoothly until the end and can provide many benefits for the participants here. And for your information, this event is commemoration of World Environment Day. Therefore, let us take care of our Environment Day by reducing marine waste pollution. And I also congratulate later on the winning contestant. I hope the prizes are useful and keep the enthusiasm for participants who haven't been lucky. Okay, that's all for me, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Ms. Belva Zerianisa Saimora, for your delightful speech. And next, welcoming speech from Deputy Regent of IRSSA Sriwijaya University, 2022-2023, allow us to invite Ms. Afifa Fatina. For Ms. Afifa, please welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Dean of Faculty of Social and Political Science, Sriwijaya University, Prof. Alfitri, who is in this case represented by Mr. Andreas Leonardo as Vice Dean 3 of the Faculty of Social and Political Science, Sriwijaya University. Also, the Honorable Head of Department of International Relations, Faculty of Social and Political Science, Sriwijaya University, Mr. Sofyan Effendi, and also Mr. Abdul Halim as the advisor of IRSSA FISIP UNSRI. In addition, I also respect the lecturers and academicians of International Relations, Faculty of Social and Political Science, who attend this international webinar, as well as colleges and participants in this international webinar called Stop Ocean Plastic Solution. First of all, I would like to appreciate the hard work and preparation of the International Webinar Committee first. Thank you for all the time and energy that has been given, which this webinar is the highlight of this year's Sriwijaya Welfare Festival event. For this year, the theme of the Sriwijaya Welfare Festival is Go Blue with Us, with the sub-theme is Ocean Plastic Pollution. I'm sure we all know how polluted our seas are nowadays. This event is intended to support the preservation of our seas as well as increase our awareness of the importance of keeping our environment clean. Shout out to our two really cool speakers today with backgrounds that are not in doubt anymore, I believe. Hopefully, our fellow participants can get a lot of benefits, also knowledge after this webinar. I think that's all from me. Thank you so much. Apologize if there are any wrong words. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Afifa Fatina, for your delightful speech. And next, welcoming speech from Head of International Relations Department of Sriwijaya University. Allow us to invite Mr. Sofyan Effendi, SIP, MSE. For Mr. Sofyan Effendi, please welcome. For Mr. Sofyan Effendi, please welcome. Halo Pak Sofyan Effendi, kepada Bapak Sofyan Effendi dipersilahkan untuk kata sambutan. Maybe Mr. Sofyan Effendi has a technical issue, and we next to welcoming speech from Mr. Dr. Andreas Leonardo, Magister Science, as the Deputy Dean 3 of Social and Political Science of Sriwijaya University, to deliver his welcome remark. For Mr. Andreas Leonardo, please welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mbak. I'm sorry, but now I'm traveling from
Hello, Mr. Dr. Andreas Leonardo.
Hello. Can you hear my voice? Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
What about my voice? Is okay?
Clear, sir.
Okay, I repeat my keynote speech. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here today at this very wonderful seminar. Let me introduce myself. My name Dr. Andreas Leonardo, as the third Vice Dean of Social and Political Sriwijaya University. Let me also send you all our best regards from our Dean, Professor Alfitri, who cannot coming here because he has important activity in this time, the same time. So I think our seminar this morning is very nice, and I hope can make us know more about the issues as I would to express my appreciation to Pak Kajur, to Pak to we call Bupati IRSSA and all the committee who generously help us making this seminar, and especially thanks to our keynote speaker. Thank you for your coming. Thank you for your times. Can join in this seminar. I hope you can give the best knowledge to our student, and all the speaker can the experiences about this theme and can give us something right good knowledge and science to the all student of HI University. Into this webinar, I think we can talk much about pollution about plastic because we know global warming also causes by plastic issues, and all the people now task how to hot the day weather now. Also, I think because this team. So everyone, well, I think I do not want to take too much of your time. I need to hand over to our keynote speaker to give the new knowledge, to giving new theory, new experience to all our HI students. And I would like to say what thank you for all the seminar organizer. Welcome. It is great seminar. So many knowledge, so many positive activity we can get from this seminar. Thank you for your coming. Thank you for all. Let me say Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Andreas Leonardo, Magister Science, for your delightful speech. And before continue the next of the event, I invite all participants to the photo session together. Everyone, please turn on the camera. The documentation session committee is invited to lead the way for the session. Okay, for all participants can follow my instruction. For the first slide, 1, 2, 3. The second slide, 1, 2, 3. Next slide, 1, 2, 3. Next slide, 1, 2, 3. Next slide, 1, 2, 3. And the last slide, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. We hope that everyone will follow the event till the end, because at the end of the event, there will be a game, door prize, contest winner announcement, and of course, attendance link. All right, then we will enter our main event, which is the delivery of the first material from our first speaker, Ms. Rainbow Leung. And next, I leave it to the moderators. For Ms. Darin, please take over.
Okay, thank you to our MC, Royini Aristi. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. I am Darin Rahma Amrul, an undergraduate student studying in International Relations at Sriwijaya University. Today, I am delighted to have the privilege of being your moderator at this important webinar on the topic Stop Ocean Plastic Pollution, organized by the International Relations Student Association in Sriwijaya University. Honored to be here with all of you as we embark on a journey to explore this pressing issue that directly impacts our environment and the future of our oceans. Let's dive right in and make the most of this interactive session as we address the challenges posed by ocean plastic pollution and discover how we can be catalysts for change. Ladies and gentlemen, I am thrilled to announce that we have not one, but two exceptional speakers joining us today. Our first session will feature the remarkable Ms. Rainbow Leung, an expert in environmental sustainability and ocean conservation. She will be sharing her valuable insights on combating ocean plastic pollution. In our second session, we are honored to have Mr. Mujizat Alam, a passionate environmentalist and advocate for a cleaner, plastic-free future. Mr. Mujizat Alam will shed light on innovative solutions and practical steps we can take to make a real difference in the fight against ocean plastic pollution. Get ready for an interactive and engaging webinar with two experts who are committed to making a positive impact on our ocean. So let's give a warm welcome to Ms. Rainbow Leung and Mr. Mujizat Alam.
Hi.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you again to activate your camera because this webinar will be an interactive webinar. Before the presentation from both speakers starts, let me tell you how our agenda for today will go. First, Ms. Rainbow Leung will be invited to present her material in session 1, followed by a question and answer session, and then closed by the presentation. Next, our second speaker, Mr. Mujizat Alam, will present his material in session 2, followed by a question and answer session, and also closed by the presentation of certificate of appreciation. After all the questions are addressed, I will provide a concluding summary and pass the microphone back to our MC, Royini. Get ready for an engaging and informative webinar as we work together to fight ocean plastic pollution. Without further ado, let's kick off our first session with a warm welcome to Miss Rainbow Leung. Good morning, Miss Leung. How are you today?
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm having a good morning. Yourself?
Great. We are honored to have you join us as a speaker for this webinar. And we also admire your commitment to making a positive impact on ocean plastic pollution. And we greatly appreciate your willingness to share your expertise with us today. Now, let's dive right into the exciting part. I know everyone is eagerly waiting for your material to know more about what you have to explain, Ms. Rainbow Leung. But before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce Ms. Leung's impressive curriculum vitae, highlighting her remarkable achievements and expertise in the field. This will give us a deeper understanding about Ms. Leung herself. Okay. Ms. Rainbow Leung is a researcher and founder of the Sustainable Ocean Alliance Hong Kong and is actively involved in conservation, sustainability, and climate advocacy. Her focus areas include conservation, coastal ecosystems, ecological engineering, ecosystem restoration, education and outreach, as well as entrepreneurship. She has received education on biodiversity conservation, graduating with a bachelor's degree in environmental studies from the Australian National University and a master's degree in conservation biology from the University of Queensland. Ms. Rainbow Leung has extensive experience in the field as a project manager, research assistant, sustainability blogger, and global ambassador with various stakeholders in Asia and the Pacific, such as the World Wildlife Fund, the Hong Kong Dolphin Conservation Society, and the Environmental Protection Department of the Hong Kong government. Now that we have familiarized ourselves with the impressive background of Ms. Rainbow Leung, let's take a moment to applaud her exceptional achievements. All right, it's time to shift our focus to the main event. Get ready as Ms. Rainbow Leung shares her valuable insights and materials with us. I encourage all participants to give their undivided attention because we have an exciting Q&A session coming up afterwards. Without any more delay, I am thrilled to hand the virtual floor to Ms. Rainbow Leung. Ms. Rainbow Leung, the time is yours.
Thank you so much. Let me share my screen. Okay. Is that working? Not in presentation mode.
Ms. Leung, if you have any technical issues, we are glad to help you to share your presentation.
Is that working? I think so. Cool. So thank you so much for having me. Today we often talk about like ocean plastic, but I want to like dive into different angle because in Hong Kong we do a lot of like beach cleanup, but what happened after? So my topic is gonna be on coastal restoration with ecological engineering and using nature-based solution. Yep. Okay, so a little bit of like I want people to answer in the chat. So how nature is relevant to us and what nature means to you. Take a minute to think about it and put your answer into the chat. What do you think nature is relevant to you? Okay, so for me, when I think about nature, I think nature is a gift. I sort of like thinking that from like an ecosystem services perspective. So let's take maybe oyster for example. We think about it as like a provisioning, as like seafood. Some of the marine flora fauna provide medicational use, and then we also like having supportive sort of like ecosystem services such as providing the habitat, provide oxygen production, regulating the water and air purification, and controlling the erosion. As in cultural perspective, when taking a case in Hong Kong, we have the tradition of cultivating oyster. I'm not sure about whether it's the case in maybe there's like a fishing culture in Indonesia as well. So yep. So the type of coastal habitat. So there are different types. So there's a more towards to the land, we have mangroves. I'm pretty sure Indonesia have like a greening program to restore mangrove as well. And then we have like rocky shore, we have sandy shore, and then mudflat, seagrass meadows, and also reef. It could be either like when we talk about reef, many of us might think about like coral reef, but there's also another type of reef, is oyster reef, that often like people not having similar attention to. So in terms of like biodiversity, there are some major threats to them. So anyone can think of any threats that to the biodiversity. Do you want to answer in the chat? Maybe today's topic, like pollution, right? So the 6 type of threats included climate change. When we talk about climate change, we can think of like ocean warming, ocean acidification. There's also habitat loss and degradation. So for example, land reclamation, deforestation, pollution as in water pollution, plastic pollution, invasive species such as lantana or lionfish to some region of the world, overexploitation, like overfishing, overharvesting of marine resources, and we also have like other potential threats such as disease. So today, my topic will be focusing on habitat loss and degradation. So there's like 2 sides of the slide. So on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, anyone notice any differences between the left and the right-hand side? So if you can like look into it, the left-hand side, you can see it's actually more natural. You see more sort of marine flora and fauna, or mangrove like on the photos, while on the right hand side, which is like a artificial seawalls or shorelines on like around like a city's area, those photos are actually taken in Hong Kong. So one of the challenges to natural shoreline, globally, there's like 40% of the population living in the coastal area, and the artificial shoreline contribute like around like 29% of the total shoreline. So if you're looking into the map, that you can see the red shoreline is actually most altered, and then so you can see Southeast Asia or some part of the East Asia area is actually most altered, and then we also have like the orange, which is like at the medium altered extent, and then the blue area is the least altered. So you can often see the most altered area associated with cities with like it's basically like coastal cities associated with like more than 1 million people living there. So yeah. The other thing about the coastal restoration initiative is there's a lot of like international policies or guidelines on ecosystem protection or restoration. I think you guys, most of us might be more familiar with like SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, and then we have SDG 14s, SDG 13s. They are really closer related to coastal restoration, and then United Nations has announced that 2021 to 2030 is the decade of ecosystem restoration. So we can talk a little bit more habitat capacity or species richness. So after land reclamation, I'm taking like a case study in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong government, they usually build two types of seawall. One is vertical seawall, which you can see on the left-hand side. And then we have like riprap seawall. And then we also have like natural rocky shore as well. So if you're looking from left to right, you can see like there's like a 2D structure, and then like more like 3D structure, and then the natural rocky shore. So for the seawall, you can see the number of the species sort of like increasing from 48, 63 to 89. So we have one conclusion that natural rocky shore actually has a higher capacity, habitat capacity, so they can harbor more species richness. So if you look at the seawall, it's like actually more flat and homogeneous straightforward. And then while for the natural rocky shore, they have more crevices, shading, and holes, etc. for marine organisms to live in there. So here are some like projects my current team are doing. And then basically what we do as a team, other than the one way to protect the ocean, to preserve the marine ecosystem, is to remove the ocean debris. But I also want to present the other way that we can preserve the ocean is by putting those eco-engineered feature to increase the habitat capacity at the ocean. So basically what we do is we put those eco-engineered feature into the ocean and hope increasing the habitat capacity. So in ecological enhancement, we have two types. So one is hard eco-engineering, and then the other type, soft eco-engineering. Okay, so when we talk about MBS, do you know what MBS is? So MBS is nature-based solution. So it's basically using the tools of the nature already provides to address the issues resulting from poor land or resources use, climate change, societal challenges, etc. So the solution often enhance the existing natural or man-made infrastructure and create long-term economic, social, and environmental benefits. So the other question that I want to ask you, because I already talked a lot, what do you know about oyster? Anyone think of anything? You can put it into the chat. So when I think about oyster, when I usually ask this question to a lot of students, they will answer me, oh well, they are seafood. Yes, we have one reply from the chat. Yes, seafood. Some of the students give me like surprised sort of like response as well. I will explain a little bit later. So if you cannot think of anything right now, or are you too shy to say, you can keep it in your mind. Okay. So I usually like just distribute oyster shell to my student and ask what they can see. So think about like what you can see on the oyster shell and then keep it in mind as well. So one research from the Nature Conservancy did like a experiment. So the question liters of water can one Hong Kong oyster can filter per hour. So one Hong Kong oyster, the size is probably like this. If you can look into my video, it's like around like a half of my forearm, the name, including like this big, really big. So any guess how many liters of water can one oyster can filter per hour? So thinking about it in the sense of the doctor recommend us to drink 2 liters a day. So we have 1.5 liters. Any, oops, just go through it. Okay. Any other answers? Any other guess? Okay, 1.5, right? Okay, let's keep it in mind. So now I want to, before I show you the answer, I want to share you a video so you can see. This is 2 tanks. So pour with microalgae into the tanks. And then one we have oyster, and then one we as a control tank. So there's nothing inside the control tank. So over around 1 hour and 25 minutes. Yes, 1 hour and 25 minutes. We can see that there's like a clear coloration difference between the treatment tank and the control tank. The one with the oyster or the green color has gone. So the green color is actually suggesting or the algae have been filtered out. So I also saw like a reply from the chat said like, oh, they are filter feeders, which is really correct. So yeah, so they filter all the algae in just 1 hour and 25 minutes. So yeah. Okay, so the when we say one oyster, one single Hong Kong oyster, it can actually filter up to 30 liter water per hour. So remember what I'm trying to suggest, the doctor recommend us to drink like 2 liters of water per day, right? They can actually filter 30 liters water per hour. So you can try to imagine how impressive it is and how they play such an important role in the ecosystem. So around 7 meters square of Hong Kong oyster reef, they can filter up 1 Olympic swimming pool of water each day. So we need to like preserve the oyster reef and sort of like appreciate the ecosystem services as well. The other thing about the sort of the ecosystem of oyster reef is they host 6 times more species than the muddy shore. So we found more the oyster reef compared to the bare mudflat. So why I'm trying to stress about oyster reef is after you know about so many things, that's good things about oyster reef, right? So actually, that's estimated globally around 85% of oyster reef have been lost already, and it become one of the most endangered marine habitat. So the other thing about the ecosystem services provided by the bioraf, such as oyster and mussel, clams, and scallop. So they provide food and natural resources to marine life and human. So serve as like a seafood or like other like a prey for other predators, and they also provide habitats and breeding grounds for marine organisms, and they enhance the marine biodiversity, also improving water qualities via biofiltration, and they protect the shoreline from storm or wave action. So why oyster shells? So oyster shells are natural materials with complex structure. There's usually have like concave shape, right? And then there's like a flat side as well. So they provide a suitable microhabitat for marine species. And when we deploy the oyster shells at the degraded artificial seawall, and we found it is the nature-based and cost-effective and non-intrusive restoration tools to restore the biodiversity and ecosystem. So I want to present some of the case study on that happening in Hong Kong. So before we try to do like a trial doing also restoration, eco-engineering restoration. So we picked 3 different sites with different water bodies. So you can see there's estuary water, transitional like within the bay, and also oceanic water. So what we do is we deployed some of the live oyster set, which is still alive and doing biofiltration. And we also have oyster shells. And then on here, you can see that is another type of oyster shell reef. And then you can see the fish or some other marine organism actually utilizing the oyster basket as like a feeding ground or nursery ground. So after 2 years time, we have some really promising and positive result. Over these times, we found over 100 species, but you can see there's like bivalve over here, and then we have crabs living inside. There's do you guys know what this is? The green leafed bivalve. Any guess? In Hong Kong, we serve it it's actually the Latin species name is perna, which is like a mussel. So some people might know they could go well with like pasta. So and this one I really want to introduce this fun species. Any guess that what it is? It looks like white-ish, brownish color. So it's actually a sponge. So if you know SpongeBob, that the friend of SpongeBob, that is a sea sponge. And then we also got like other type of species. They are also filter feeder as well. So at least 100 species spotted in the oyster basket over the 2 years trial, and 50% are unique to it and not record on the nearby river border, the big rocks that we can find next to the area. So this is actually case study 2. So we also did some like diving in our team. We do subtitle oyster reef implementation. So this is the bay. So when I was diving there, there's a lot of ocean plastic. There's a lot of like crab cages or packaging, because like people like to go party there. So there's actually a lot of like rubbish down in the ocean. So aside from that, we also found there's actually something amazing going on. So within the area, we find like the different fish. There's a eel, there's sea anemone, and even like sun corals as well. So what are we going to do to protect that area is we put, because after the first trial, we noticed that there's the oyster shell has served similar function or as good, there's no significant difference between oyster shells and live oyster set. So actually when we purchased them, we found out that live oyster set are actually quite expensive. So when we found out oyster shells can serve as similar function, we are pushing for using oyster shells only. So in this project, we're trying to put the oyster shells into different type of bags and then deploy it into the ocean. So you can see there's interesting things going on after a week of deployment. We found there's like squid eggs actually living on the oyster reef itself. So they like soft soft materials to sort of like stay on, settle on. While previously when we do the survey, we found out that the site is actually full of like trash or like a sandy flat, sandy shore. It's not suitable for them to live there. So by deploying those feature like oyster shell reef into the ocean, we noticed that that's like they can provide like a suitable habitat for the species that settle on the area on the reef itself. So there's also some like cute photos of what happening down in the ocean. So we can have some like fish and then sea stars and also seahorses as well. So what we are doing other than one part of the surveys is we also survey whether there's like trash underneath to see whether our feature trap any ocean or marine debris. The other thing is we also looking into biodiversity of the oyster reef itself. So that's the research part, but how individual actions can contribute to a healthy environment. So I was helping with an NGO called HKMEA, and they have an initiative called Oyster Save Our Seas. If you know, there's a US initiative called Billion Oyster Project. It's just kind of similar to that, but I will explain if you haven't heard about it yet. So what we are trying to do is to create a biodiversity, sort of like biologically diverse and sustainable marine environment. One of the projects that I'm leading is called Shell Team Hotels, basically building hotels or building rooms, houses for the marine organism, either it's algae or like marine flora and fauna as well. So I will have given to talk about the importance of oyster reef and biodiversity, and then having a workshop on doing oyster string fabrication. As you can see, there's like student like playing with the table drill. They're trying to build some of the oyster shell string like this, and then we will bring them to on the fish raft because it's more safe, and then we will sort of like have a string and then tie them up and then put into the sea for deployment. And after that, we will do like biodiversity monitoring sections to teach students about marine biodiversity, species identification, and why are they so important due to the ocean, like today's one. Yep. So what we are trying to do is to research, restore, educate students or general public and engage them in part of the hands-on restoration component. So this is where we giving a talk, and then they will measure the oyster shell to make like a more fair or like standardized oyster shell string, and then we will deploy it into the sea. So after certain month, there's the different projects we engage in different schools and deploy at different times. But you can see there's the oyster string in the ocean, and there's a fish actually feeding on the oyster shell string because there's algae already going on it. There's we have deployed different types of arrangement. We have like basket, we have collars, like the circular one, and then we also have like string itself. And then we found sea slug are actually living on the oyster shell string, utilizing the area, and crino as well, which is actually quite rare to find during our research. So we are quite happy to see those. So after 12 months, you can see there's actually a lot of fouling going on the oyster shell string. There's like balsamian, there's sessile polychaete, like worms. There's sort of like seaweed, like we call it ulva. So we also found oyster the recruitment small oyster baby living on the shelves itself as well. So those are really important type of species and organism because they provide biofiltration surfaces to the ecosystem. And we also found the crabs living inside the oyster shells. And guess what it is on the right hand side with the wet little circular thing. And I guess, yes. Oh, we have like is that just now? We have like fish. Yes, they are actually fish eggs. So one Chinese dog is one fish egg. So actually, I didn't count how many it is, but I guess there's a lot of fish babies that will sort of like utilizing the areas as well. And often when we do the survey, we put it on the tray, and then we find like different like type of fish eggs living on there. We see the baby like swimming up because they are kind of stressed on the tray as well. But it's like kind of interesting to see. We also find boss fish. So that's me and my colleague, my team members doing work on the fish raft. Okay. Okay, so the students are quite happy to make the oyster shell string. And these are the fish eggs that we talked about under the microscope. You can see the two eyes developing. It's really, really cool. and really interesting to see as well. Okay. So I guess the take-home message from my talk, so other than beach cleanup, what can we do to preserve our marine ecosystem is in Hong Kong or in Asia in general, there's a lot of like land reclamation project happening because it's urban development, coastal development. There's like a need to develop more land for different uses. So often we build a seawall which are homogeneous, flat surface, having higher temperature, etc. So we are trying to when we look at the blue line, which is the natural ecosystem, we have such a higher species richness. What we are trying to do in my team or with the public as well is try to deploy some of the eco-engineer feature. Maybe it's like a concrete feature like what my team did before, or like oyster shells, nitrogen. We are trying to push those numbers or restore the marine environment closer to natural ecosystem, but bear in mind we cannot push it back to what it was before. So it's really important that we close the tap. We sort of like thinking about what we are consuming, what we are using in our day-to-day life, and try to avoid or reduce the use of single-use plastic. But also we can having sort of like utilizing different restoration tools or means to preserve our marine ecosystem. So yeah, so one of the key take-home message is nature-based solution is really promising and worth to try out, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, so here are some information. If you're interested in this topic or want to discuss more, you can contact me. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Rainbow Leung has shared her very informative materials. And I would like to say that what really caught my attention was the oysters, because as we know in Asia itself, oysters are a very common commodity. And in Indonesia itself, in Lampung is actually a city or province in Sumatra, and they actually produce a lot of oysters as well. And it's really concerning to see that the natural shorelines are getting replaced to artificial shorelines. And I'm sure that a lot of the participants here share the same concern as us. So we are now opening our Q&A session. For participants that are willing to ask or that want to ask, we advise to raise their hand or just submit their questions in the chat box. Okay, we have one question here from Nasif. Professor Leung, are oysters safe for consumption and are certain types effective in preserving marine ecosystems? Thank you. To Ms. Rainbow Leung, the floor is yours.
Yeah, it's actually like a really good question. I have encountered that question sometimes. Yep, sorry. Yeah, so I encountered that question sometimes before as well. So true. So if the oyster which sort of like deploying the oyster shells or oyster in some of the estuaries water that might have pollution concern, we don't encourage or we don't recommend like people to eat them. But I think one of the main point is they actually serve as like a really good ecosystem services like a biofiltration to the ocean. Yeah. And I guess like some of the research previously show there's also heavy metals or they because they are oyster, they cannot distinguish them from which kind of matter or organic matter or inorganic matter that they sort of like filter. So I think in Hong Kong there's like another company that they use the system to sort of like filtering and then clean it before eating them. So there's like different method that use in around the world.
Okay, Nasib, we hope that answered your question. And to other participants, if you have other questions, please kindly raise your hand or ask the questions in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Leung, I actually have a question because I noticed that there are different shorelines, right? There are artificial shorelines, natural rocky shorelines, and well, I wanted to ask how does the natural rocky shores differ from typical vertical seawalls or just the artificial shorelines in general? And how does their ability to support and sustain diverse species such as the oysters that you mentioned, or other marine species too? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So often when we sort of like restoring the sort of running projects to like a research project, we have vertical seawall, we have like panels that retrofit on the seawall itself, and then we also have some type of you engineer to reef onto the river seawall, and we also have like a reference site. So we would just go there and then to see what kind of like species living on there. What we do is we will record the number of species, number of mobile individual, etc. And then we also will take the thermal imaging as well. So what we can see is often the vertical seawall is because it's like homogeneous and flat in surface. When the sun hits, it's actually rising really high, maybe like up to 40 something degrees Celsius. But while you look at the reference site, like natural rocky shore, it could be around 30 something degrees Celsius. So when we think of in a sense of like climate change that we talk about like 1.5 degrees Celsius, it's already raising a lot of concerns and a lot of like actions involved. The sort of like the seawall and the natural rocky shore difference are actually reaching up to like 5 to 10 degrees Celsius, which is massive. So I think one point to take away is how we can sort of like building better seawalls or not preserving natural ecosystem, how we can sort of like improve the existing seawall as well.
Thank you for the answer, Ms. Leung. We actually have another question here in the chat box from Rabiu Mahmud Musa. What are the pollution effect as a result of PAH to the marine environment?
So do you mind you explaining a little bit more about PAH? Is that like because like in our team we usually biodiversity surveys or biological surveys, we don't usually do chemical analysis. So I guess like the other thing that we can see in the estuaries water in the oyster shells, we found there's like other than we do water parameters to sort of like see whether there's like abnormalities in the water, but the other is the biological invasion. So there's like a type of biograph which is like kind of bore into the oyster shell and break it apart.
Okay, review. We hope that Miss Leung's answered your question. We have one more person here, or two more. We have Anissa. Anissa, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello Miss. I will ask about, in addition to some of the things mentioned by you earlier, how the role of oyster in improving the quality of the marine environment.
Yep. So the other thing that we do, that is like a really good question. I didn't mention that, but what we do is often we deploy those oyster shell string or sort of like the units into the ocean after a certain amount of time. Let's say for around 1 year or 1.5 year, we retrieve them back to the lab, and then we do like one like a biofiltration experiment as well. So, yeah, so we will basically just like pour a certain amount of like algae into 2 different tanks, and then we sort of like monitor how well they filter, because there's, as mentioned, there's like biozoan, which is like a filter feeder. There's oyster, either sponge or tunicate, they are also filter feeder already developed on the oyster shell. So the so that's like 2 purposes. One is like sort of as like a platform to having filter feeders to live on the oyster shells. The other thing is oyster shells also like serve as like a queue that they will, because they also they love to live next to each other. So they will also sort of like releasing the chemical cues and then attract the oyster babies to live inside there as well. So further enhancing the biofiltration capacity.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Leung. To Anissa, we hope the answer is satisfactory to you. Okay, we have one more question from Cardo and Atit Wistati. To Cardo first, I would like you to activate your microphone.
Check. My son is hearing.
Yes, you are audible, Cardo.
Okay. Thank you about opportunity. My question is, what do you think about fishing with bombs that damage the sea and coral reefs? That does it also damage the oyster ecosystem? Thank you.
Okay, so maybe to provide more context to Cardo's question, in Indonesia, there are many cases that where fishers, they use like some type of chemical bombs or something to fish in the ocean. And I think what Cardo meant was what your opinion is about using these bombs and how it affects the oysters itself.
Yeah, I think that will add on like extra chemical pollution to the marine ecosystem as well. So often in our talk we try to promote the idea of actually because we do estuary resort as well. So they are actually mosaic, so a collection of reef to reef system. So what happened elsewhere in the other ecosystem, maybe mangrove, maybe estuary freshwater, that could also like impacting the marine ecosystem. And I think in Hong I think it's like really good to use Indonesia case study, but in Hong Kong we used to have like trawling, which have like a devastated sort of like impact on the marine ecosystem on the seabed as well. But now we ban the trawling practice, and we sort of like seeing the biodiversity recovering at a certain extent and the rates as well.
Okay, so to add more context, in Indonesia, we also have several policies that ban these practices. You know, it's illegal here, but unfortunately, people still do it. So that is a very big homework for us. Okay, we have, I will limit the questions to one more from Atit Wistati. She asked, in Indonesia, we have a big problem, and the problem is, you know, the plastic pollution in the sea. How can these oysters, what is the revelation between the oyster to becoming a solution to this problem?
Yeah, actually, this is like a really good question. I think one of the solution will be still closing the tap, like if people stop using them, and there might not be more in the ocean. One thing that in Hong Kong we often do a lot with like a lot of NGO is like beach cleanup, but in terms of ocean, I think one of my lab mate, she is also trying to see whether oyster can act like as like a indicative species to test the microplastic sort of like content as well. So because they are filter feeder, so they accumulate, and that will be like a really interesting topic to see how much the oyster can sort of like filter the microplastic.
Thank you, Ms. Leung, for the answer, and for Adit Wistati. We hope it answered your question. Okay, so from what we have seen from the Q&A session, there are a lot of eager participants that ask lots of questions, and we really appreciate those questions. But because of our time and also the time limit, we would like to close the Q&A session for now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up our engaging session with Ms. Rainbow Leung, I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation for her for sharing her expertise and insights with us today. We are truly grateful for her valuable contributions. And to express our gratitude, we would like to present Ms. Rainbow Leung with a well-deserved certificate of appreciation, acknowledging her outstanding contribution to our webinar. This certificate serves as a token of our admiration for her dedication and commitment to addressing the issue of ocean plastic pollution. Once more, we express our sincere gratitude to Ms. Rainbow Leung. And for now, we would like to enter a photo session with Ms. Rainbow Leung with the certificate of appreciation. Siapa yang foto? Udah, okay. I will count down. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Leung, for the time. And once more, we would like to express our sincere gratitude. And we look forward to meeting you again in the future. Thank you, Ms. Rainbow Leung. Okay, for participants, we would like to advise you to not leave the Zoom yet because we have one more session with our remarkable speaker, Mr. Mujizat Alam. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering our second session. Therefore, let's get it started with a warm and enthusiastic welcome to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Mujizat Alam. Good morning, Mr. Mujizat Alam.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Okay, we are very pleased to have you in our webinar today, and we hope you are feeling energized as we approach noon.
I'm sorry, I'm late to join because I'm in day and I have agenda with the Chief of Naval, Mr. Ali, in multilateral naval exercise Komodo 2023. Maybe if you in the Makassar, maybe we can meet each other.
Friends from Makassar, if you have the time to meet with Mr. Mujizat Alam, then you can surely meet with him. Okay, moving on. Before we start the presentation from Mr. Mujizat Alam with the topic of promotion of activities to stop littering in the Indonesian seas, we would first like to introduce Mr. Mujizat Alam curriculum vitae. This will provide us with a deeper understanding of his extensive accomplishment and expertise in the field. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mujizat Alam is the founder of National Oceanographic Indonesia, a non-profit scientific, educational, and research institution in Indonesia, which has a research focus in the field of marine studies, including the fields of oceanography and marine biodiversity conservation. Mr. Mujizat Alam is also the head of the Jakarta Representative Office at PT PAL Indonesia BUMN, holding the Defense Industry or Defended. Graduating with a bachelor's degree in marine science from Pajajaran University, Mr. Mujizat Alam is currently furthering his education by pursuing a master's degree through the LPDP scholarship in industrial management from Institut 10 November Surabaya. Mr. Mujizat Alam has various experiences in organizations, workshops, and conferences that focus on marine studies, education, and leadership. Mr. Mujizat Alam is also the author of various scientific publications and has various certifications in his field of expertise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we are familiar with Mr. Mujizat Alam's background, let's give him a big round of applause for his remarkable achievements. Get ready to be captivated as he shares his valuable insights, and it is important that everyone pays attention because we have once more an exciting Q&A session coming up. To Mr. Mujizat Alam, the time is yours.
Okay, good day, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mujizat Alam, and I'm honored to be speaking at this webinar today. Maybe I will share myself. Okay. I will share my my material. I'm honored to be speaking at this webinar today, and I have given the privilege to share my expertise and insight about the ocean pollution. And next, maybe I want to share myself. Can I?
Okay, are you able to share it now, Mr. Mujizat Alam?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody see? Okay. Ayo. Yeah, I'm currently serving as the head of Jakarta Representative Office at PT PAL Indonesia, the largest shipyard in Indonesia, under the state-owned enterprise or BUMN. And in this role, I oversee various operation and project related to shipbuilding and maritime engineering. Being part of PT PAL Indonesia has given me valuable insight into challenge and opportunities in the maritime industry. Furthermore, I'm proud to share that I was elected as the chairman of the Alumni Association of Marine Science at the University of Pajajaran in the previous year. And this position allowed me to collaborate with fellow alumni and contribute to the advance of marine science education, research, and professional development. And with my experience in the shipbuilding industry and involvement in the Alumni Association, I bring the unique perspective to this webinar. I'm to provide insight not only from the academic, and theoretical standpoint, but also from the practical experience and industry experience. And during this seminar, I'm to share my knowledge and experience on the challenge and the solution to marine plastic pollution. I hope to inspire you all take action and make difference in preserving our ocean for future generation. Thank you for your attention. Next, this is the first I want to describe or explain about myself. This is my scientific publication. The first, the journal publication in the national seminar on atmosphere about the validasi IRRSSA data Indeso about the ocean current. And then the second journal publication in international conference in the International on Marine Science 2017. And the third journal about the journal publication in national seminar in Semcoir held by Maritime Affairs and Fisheries Service Banten 2017. And this is the other scientific publication. This is the publication about me. I have write a book about the Jangan Tunda ke Pulau Tunda, and the next article about me about the when the millennial generation have responsible to be the high position in the state-owned enterprise. Next, I want to share about this mention that the word ocean are vital to all life on the planet. Ocean help us breathe, regulate the climate, and serve as an important source of food. On top of all of that, the ocean are home to huge range species. And yes, the world ocean play a crucial role in supporting life on our planet. Example like oxygen production help us to breathe. Phytoplankton, microscopic marine plants are responsible for producing a significant portion of the world oxygen. Through photosynthesis, this organism convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. The oxygen produced by the ocean is vital for the survival of both marine and the terrestrial organism. And about the regulate climate regulation, that the ocean play a vital role in regulating the Earth climate. They absorb and store heat, distributing it around the globe through ocean current. And this process helps to regulate temperature and climate patterns, influencing weather system and mitigating the impact of climate change. They help regulate the Earth climate by distributing heat around the planet through ocean current. And ocean absorb a substantial amount of carbon dioxide, helping to mitigate the impact of climate change. And the last about the food source, the source of food for us, the ocean are crucial source of food for million people worldwide. Fishing and aquaculture industrial rely on the ocean to provide sustenance and livelihood for coastal communities. And seafood is an important protein source, and the ocean contribute to global food security. So the world ocean are vital to all life on the planet, vital for us. And this is about the natural resources. This is about the natural resources and environment service of the sea. Before we discuss about the marine ocean pollution, I want to share about the natural resources, environmental resources of the sea. If we talk about the natural resources, we talk about the biological resources. Divide to 5 is coral reef, mangrove, seagrass, fishery, and other marine biota, and non-living resources. Example like oil and gas, mineral and coal, and seawater. And artificial resources, we talk about the marine building and marine installation. And if we talk about the environmental service, we talk about the transportation, tourism, and maritime. And if we talk about the unconventional resources, we talk about the geothermal, sea tide, and current and wave, and they then they can convert to energy, and we can use to all of them. Yeah, this is about the maritime economic cluster of Indonesia. Divide to 11 cluster, such as fisheries, energy and mineral resources, coastal and small island resources, non-conventional resources, biotechnology industry, maritime service, tourism, transportation, marine structure, and defense, security, law enforcement, and safety at the sea. So the maritime economy can be described as economic activity that occur in the marine environment and derive output from the ocean and provide a good and service to the ocean. In other words, the maritime economy can be defined as economic activity that directly or indirectly take place in coastal and oceanic area, as well as on land, utilizing natural resources and environmental service of the marine environment to produce good and service, and incorporating good and service into marine activities. And this is about the potential of Indonesia water. If we talk about the ocean, we must talk about the potential. So we think the positive about the ocean. So if we Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani Indrawati said in January 2022 said that 62% of Indonesia territory consists of the sea. But the contribution of the marine and fisheries sector to the country gross domestic product GDP is very small, only 2.8%. Moreover, the share of fisheries export in the global trade is only 3.5%. So this is the problem of us, and we must discuss to solve this problem. And if we talk about the potential of Indonesia water, we talk about the 6 potential, such as the energy. If we talk about the energy, we talk about the tides. If we talk about the ocean thermal energy, we talk about the wind. And the tidal range in the NTB region reach up to 5 meters, which has the potential to be harnessed as energy. And if we talk about the ocean thermal energy, there is potential of 240,000 megawatt of ocean thermal energy. And we talk about the wind, the average wind speed is 3 meters per second, and which can generate 100 kilowatt of power. And the next we talk about the maritime industry. We talk about the shipbuilding. Our shipbuilding tries to build 126 units of vessel and value of 10 trillion. Transportation, significant demand for inter-island transportation. Now, if we think about the Sandiaga Uno, he said about the tourism. So demand for the vessel for tourism is very high, and this is opportunity for us to a great distance. The other is tourism. Coral Reef, we have 6 out of 10 location-based ecosystem in the world, and coastline spanning 95,181 kilometers, and dive site large coral triangle 235 dive spot in the 10 and the 11 location. And this is the potential about the fisheries. We have capture fisheries potential 12.5 million ton per year. And if we talk about the maximum sustainable yield, we talk about the 80% from the capture fisheries potential. And if we talk about the production capture fisheries is only reach up until 6 million. And we have problem to how to reach up production of capture fisheries until 10 million ton per year. And if we talk about the mining, we talk about oil and gas. We have 222.85 billion barrel. We talk about sea sand. We have valuable is 4,136.77 billion per year. And if we talk about the mineral, we have 25 islands with mineral potential. So this is the potential we have, and we must to maximize this potential, and this is, I think, will impact to our economy national. The next about the plastic. What is plastic? If we talk about the ocean pollution, if we talk about plastic, what is plastic? Plastic are synthetic material, usually made from oil or natural gas. Plastic are made by linking thousands of monomer, and the main types are polyethylene, bottle, jar, bags, cup, and polystyrene, cups, pellet, and polypropylene, bottle caps, drinking straw, and polyvinyl chloride, shoes, pipes, and furniture. So this is, we talk about the marine litter around the world. So the problem of marine litter can seem overwhelming and disheartening. However, it's important to remember that even small action can make a difference. While you may not be able to solve the entire problem single-handedly, collective effort can have significant impact for the solve this problem about the plastic. What have you heard and seen about the ocean plastic pollution? Okay, Indonesia is among the world's top contributor to plastic pollution, in a world where more than 8 million metric tons of plastic are dumped into ocean every year. And this is a problem for us, for the young generation like us. And this is the problem, and we must to solve as soon as possible to solve this problem. So this is we talk about the Indonesia municipal. Okay. Indonesia municipal waste source and composition. And this is, we can see that the main source of the plastic pollution in Indonesia, Indonesia is contribute to plastic for the ocean pollution in Indonesia is plastic contribute 10.58%. And this is the problem for us about the plastic after household, after organic and paper and metal. Yeah, about the main source, approximately 80% comes from land-based source. If we talk about the litter, industrial discharge, garbage management, about pedestrian, motorist, beach visitor, to impact the ocean pollution. And approximately 20% come from ocean-based source, commercial fishing vessel, cargo ship, and pleasure cruise ship. And huge amount of plastic in the ocean. How long can plastic degrade? Plastic bag need 20 years. it can degrade. And plastic bottle, it need 450 years. Plastic cap, 50 years. Food wrapper, 300 years. And fishing line, 600 years. This is, we talk about the wildlife issues, about the wildlife issue, impact from the ocean pollution. And wildlife issue, the first, entanglement, ingestion, chemical, invasive species, coral reef can be harmed, and ghost fishing. And over 1 million seabird, 100,000 marine mammals, and 1,000 of turtle are killed by plastic every year. And we can see this plastic is very harmful for the wildlife. And this is, we talk about the next generation. We talk about the in the future, 10 years ago, 10 years in the future, 20 years in the future. This is a problem if we do nothing to take action this problem. This is example about the marine plastic pollution. Turtle entanglement in net, plastic item such as this fishing net can trap, entangle, and sometimes kill marine animal like this turtle. And if we talk about the albatross eating plastic, and this albatross was found on Midway Island in the middle of the Pacific. And even in this remote area, marine animals are still confusing plastic with food. This albatross died because its stomach was so full of plastic and it couldn't eat any proper food. And beach plastic in 2014, the Ocean Conservation collected millions of fish of rubbish from beach, and 5 of the top 6 items were made from plastic. Worryingly, there are trillions of fish still in the ocean, with more added every day. And this is about the copepod eating plastic. Microplastic particle can also end up inside smaller sea creatures. This copepod, a type of zooplankton, has eaten small piece of plastic colored with the fluorescent dye, which it has mistaken for algae. Now, I have a game, small game for all of us. You can chat in the room chat. I will share about the question, small question, some question. I want to know about the answer from all of you. It is only this answer only true, false, or uncertain. Okay, ready?
Okay, for participants, we encourage you to participate in this game with Mr. Mujizat Alam by either submitting your answer to the chat box or raising your hand.
Okay. Okay, ready. Okay. The first question. 90% of the plastic in the ocean come from 10 rivers. The answer is true, false, or uncertain. Okay, true. True, 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 true. Okay. The other question, the other answer, true, true. Another answer. Okay, okay. The answer is false. Why? Plastic get into the ocean in many ways. It is a dam directly or is blown in by the wind. It comes from ship and lost fishing gear. It's also river. And riverborne plastic are an important source of marine litter. And while research continue into which source are the most important. And we know that plastic in the ocean is global problem. And it is clear that action by all of us, from individual to government, is required to tackle it. Okay, next question. Okay, next question. There will be more plastic than fish in the ocean by 2050. True, false, or uncertain? Uncertain. Okay, next. False. Another? True. True. Okay. Uncertain. Okay. True or uncertain? Okay. The answer is the right uncertain. Why? It's nearly impossible to come up with the exact figure to support this claim. 2016 report estimate that a business as usual scenario, the ocean is expected to contain 1 ton of plastic for every 3 tons of fish by 2025, and by 2050 more plastic than fish by weight. And this because there is uncertainty of over the method used to estimate both fish population and amount plastic in the ocean. Okay. The more plastic than fish by 2050, quote is useful illustration, but it's not verifiable, at least not yet. Okay. The next question. Plastic pollution is currently the biggest threat to the ocean. True, false, or uncertain? False. Okay. True. Okay. Okay. If you remember about the what I said before, that the plastic pollution is number 3. So the answer is false. While plastic pollution is among the most serious threat, largest problem may be how it compounds all other stress on ocean health. And the threats include climate change, acidification, ocean warming, overfishing, and habitat destruction. And the real problem the ocean face is the combination of human impact and our lack of will to address them. And plastic pollution is just one of the many serious threats to the ocean. And while it might be easy to assume the ocean are dying, they aren't dead yet. And if we take action now, we still have chance to deal with plastic and other human impact. Okay. The next question, maybe 1 or 2 questions again. Microplastic are harmful to human. Okay. False. Okay. True. False. Okay. The answer is uncertain. Uncertain. There is growing concern about the effect marine microplastic may have on people, including toxic chemical leaching from plastic litter, and the fact that microscopic particles are making their way into the food chain and affecting human health. And assessing the risk to human health from marine plastic is complex, and there is still much we do not know about its potential to affect human health. So, while there is growing concern about the effect microplastic may have on human, and while the knowledge gap on this subject is narrowing, further work is needed to establish its effect on our health. Okay, maybe this is the last question. Plastic bottle in the ocean will disappear after 450 years. Maybe if you remember about the what I said about the plastic destructive. You answer? Plastic bottle? True. Hey. False. Okay. True. True. Form. Okay. The answer is uncertain. Uncertain. Yeah, we don't know. Plastic take extremely long to the territory, highlighting the urgent need to prevent more entering the marine environment. Because recent estimates suggest that it will take 450 years for plastic bottle to completely break down. Okay. Oh, maybe this is the last. The last. Collecting plastic litter in the ocean will solve the problem. Okay. Nah. Okay. False. True. Collecting plastic litter in the ocean will solve the problem. Maybe all the answer is right. It's true. But I have why you said the last. Yeah. I don't know exactly. Okay. Okay. Four. Collecting floating plastic litter may seem like a good idea, but it may divert attention from more cost-effective and efficient measures, such as preventing plastic pollution from entering the ocean in the first place. And it may cause more harm than good. Plastic in the ocean constantly move around and is mostly found in low concentration and through the water column. And removing plastic litter from one beach might seem like mere drop in the ocean when compared to the scale of the problem, but cleans up can be effective when they target ecologically sensitive or economically valuable area, including place important for fisheries and tourism. Oh, the last. Okay. This is the last. This is true. The last question. Okay. Of marine litter, nothing I can do will make difference. Maybe this is the special question for me. The problem of marine litter is too difficult. Nothing I can do will make difference. False. I don't write the question. I don't write the answer in this false. Okay. The answer is all answer is maybe if you say true, maybe it's good a good answer, and maybe if you talk about if you say false, maybe it's the true answer, because the problem of marine litter can seem overwhelming and disheartening, and but if we talk about the reason why we have to take action about this problem, because awareness and education. By taking action and spreading awareness about the marine litter, you can contribute to educating others about the issue. This can inspire more people to make change and increase overall consciousness about the problem. And personal responsibility. have responsible about the this problem, ocean pollution, because every individual has a responsibility to reduce their own loss and minimize their contribution to marine litter. By making conscious choice in your daily, such as reducing single-use plastic, properly disposing of trash, and recycling, you have prevent waste from ending up in the ocean. And support for organization and initiative by supporting organization and initiative that work toward tackling marine litter, and either through donation or volunteering, you can contribute to their ability to make large impact for the ocean. And your support can help fund research, clean up effort, and policy advocacy and education campaign. Remember, change often start with the individual action from us. By doing what we can, we become part of collective movement that can drive meaningful change and make a difference in addressing the problem of marine litter. This is solution from me, that the solution for marine plastic pollution, the 3R approach, which stand for reduce, reuse, and recycle, can indeed contribute to addressing marine plastic pollution. Because if we talk about the reduce, the first step is to minimize the amount of plastic was generated in the first place. Encouraging that use of biodegradable or environmentally friendly material instead of single-use plastic can significantly reduce plastic waste. And if other reuse, encouraging the reuse of plastic item can extend their lifespan and reduce demand for new plastic product. Example like reusable bags, refillable container, second-hand market. Encouraging the purchase and use of second-hand plastic item can help reduce demand for the new plastic production. And the last is recycle. Recycling plays a crucial role in the managing plastic waste, involving converting plastic waste into new. So it's important to note that while the 3R approach can help address marine plastic pollution, it's not the sole solution. Other measures such as waste management, infrastructure, international collaboration, and policy change are also necessary to tackle this complex issue comprehensively. This, we cannot control the wind, but we can adjust ourselves. This is the last mention from me. We cannot control the wind, but we can adjust ourselves. Indeed, while we may not have directly control over external factors such as the wind, we can adapt and adjust our approach to navigate through challenge. And this principle can be applied to various situations, including addressing marine plastic pollution. Few ways in which we can adjust ourselves to tackle this issue about the marine ocean pollution: advocacy, and policy change. We can actively engage in advocacy effort to raise awareness about the impact of marine plastic pollution and push for policy change at local, national, and international level. Innovation and technology, collaboration and partnership, consumer choice, and education awareness. By adjusting ourselves and adopting proactive measures, we can make on marine plastic pollution and a more sustainable future. Okay. Thank you very much for to have listening about the presentation. Maybe if you all have a question, you can direct ask to me. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed Mr. Mujizat Alam's insightful presentation, and I would like to point out a few interesting points caught my attention. So, ladies and gentlemen, we know that we might not have a direct impact to this problem, but by spreading awareness, we are able to spread, to educate other people about this problem and to do advocacy of toward this problem. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering our Q&A session. For participants that would like to ask some questions to Mr. Mujizat Alam, we encourage them to raise their hand or ask their questions through the chat box. Okay, I will read from the first question in the chat box first. We have a question from Nasef. Indonesia has a big potential of alternative energy from the ocean apart from tidal energy. Blue energy can also be developed from microalgae. What challenges have caused this blue energy, yet optimizing to support renewable energy? And also, is there any technology to detect and handle the microplastic pollution in oceans? To Mr. Mujizat Alam, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the Mr. Nasef. Yeah, you're correct that the Indonesia has significant potential for alternative energy from the ocean, including blue energy derived from the microalgae. However, several challenges have hindered the optimal development and utilization of blue energy to support renewable energy, such as technological limitation. Blue energy technologies such as microalgae based energy production are still in the early stage of development, and cost effectiveness. The cost of developing and implementing blue energy technology is currently relatively high compared to the traditional energy sources. And the third, lack of infrastructure. Infrastructure required for large-scale blue energy production, such as cultivation facility, processing plant, and distribution network. And the fourth is the resource availability and variability. The availability and productivity of microalgae as feedstock for blue energy production can vary due to environmental factors such as sunlight, water quality, and nutrient and addressing this challenge will require a multi-stakeholder approach involving government support, private sector investment, research and development effort, and public participation to unlock the full potential of blue energy in Indonesia as a renewable energy resources. Maybe this answer from me.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Mujizat Alam, and for Nasef. We hope that it answered your question. Moving on to the next question from Anissa. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity from the moderator. Okay, my question is regarding the amount of plastic waste thrown into the river. I feel this is related to the minimal public awareness, especially people with an old age range. In Mr. Mujizat Alam opinion, how to increase public awareness, especially those who are already old, about the importance of protecting the sea, especially by not throwing garbage into the river. Thank you.
To increase public awareness about ocean pollution.
Yes, Mr.
Okay. Some effective approach to increase public awareness about the ocean pollution is educational campaign. Develop comprehensive educational campaign that highlight the causes, impact, and solution to ocean pollution. And collaborate with influencer and celebrities. This is we can get the big impact if we collaborate with influencer and celebrity. Partner with influencer, celebrity, and public figure. We have a wide reach and influence, because they can help promote our message and raise awareness about the ocean pollution through their platform, social media channel, and public friends. And maybe we can make the public event like this seminar about the ocean pollution, or we create the workshop about the ocean pollution, because engage participants in the discussion, activities, and demonstration that showcase the impact of ocean pollution and promote sustainable behavior. And media, the last, engage the media. Collaborate with media outlet, including newspaper, radio station, television channel, and our social media to give the education about the ocean pollution. So remember that creating long-term behavior change require consistent and sustained effort. I really appreciate to this event, because this event will make reach the public awareness about the ocean pollution. By combining this approach and tailoring them to our target audience, we can effectively increase public awareness about the ocean pollution and inspire collective action to protect our ocean. Maybe this the question answer from.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mujizat Alam, for the answer. To Anissa, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mujizat Alam, for the answer.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next question from the chat box, we have Dinda Octaviani from Sriwijaya University. I want to ask about how education campaigns can help raise awareness about the importance of to ending littering in Indonesian seas, and how does the education campaign measure its impact in raising awareness and changing behavior regarding littering in Indonesian seas, which we all know that Indonesia is one of the countries that contribute the most plastic pollution. Thank you in advance, sir.
About the have raised awareness about the importance of stopping littering in the Indonesia seas.
Yes, but I think this is more about in the education aspect. So maybe in schools or high schools.
Okay. Yeah, certainly education campaign can play a crucial role in the raising awareness about the importance of stopping littering in Indonesian sea. Some way education campaign can have informative content. That education campaign can provide information about the environmental impact of littering in the seas, emphasizing the harm it causes to marine life, ecosystem, and human health. They can highlight specific example and statistics to illustrate the the problem in Indonesia. And engage target audience, same like before, and promote responsible waste management. Educate individual on proper waste disposal method, recycling practice, and the reduction of single-use plastic. Provide practical tips and guidance on how individual can make positive impact by adopting sustainable behavior in our daily life. And same like before, collaboration and partnership. Collaborate with local communities, NGO, school, business, and government agency to extend the reach and impact of the education campaign. And school and community program. Incorporate educational initiative into school curricula and community program. Conduct workshop and seminar like this, and interactive activity to engage participant or student and community member in learning about the impact of littering and way to combat it. So impact of education campaign can be measured if we do survey and questionnaires, behavior observation, media reach engagement, participant feedback, and case study and success story. So remember that the measuring behavior change can be challenging, and it's essential to use a combination of quantitative and qualitative method to capture the campaign impact accurately. Monitoring long-term trend and evaluation can provide valuable insight for refining and improving future education campaign. Maybe this question from answer from me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mujizat Alam, for your answer. To Dinda Octaviani, hope that it is satisfactory. Okay, we are moving on to another question from our Zoom to Cardo.
Thank
The
you.
floor is yours.
Thank you about the opportunity. My question is, what do your opinion about the new phenomenon of young people caring, for example, out environmental action by cleaning up trash in rivers, beach, and others? But there are many obstacles ranging from an unsupportive environment to the cost of transporting garbage, which is expensive and requires large garbage transport vehicles. And finally, they include their activities in content on YouTube as an invitation to protect the environment, to get sponsored, to invitation to donate.
My opinion about the Pandawara group.
Yes.
Yeah. I see about them activity to about Pandawara group to clean the river from garbage, and maybe this community or maybe this group is the one take action from the Indonesia to solve this problem. So I don't know exactly about them, but if you say about the my opinion, Pandawara group, as this community is very good because this action created by us and to give impact for us. So from us and to us. So this action is very good. Pandawara group. I don't know exactly about. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think that's enough. It's okay, Mr. Mujizat Alam. To Cardo,
Yeah.
are you able to, is the answer able to answer your question?
Thank you about your opinion.
Okay, thank you, Cardo. Thank you, Mr. Mujizat Alam. We have one last question here. No, actually we have two more questions here, and I think we will limit it to this last two because of the time limit. Okay, so from Ms. Nurul Aulia, she asked, how do you view the action and cooperation that has been done by the multinational corporations and the government? Is it enough to end marine plastic pollution? And if it is not, in which way should should improvement be done by the government and multinational corporations to combat marine plastic pollution? To Mr. Mujizat Alam, the floor is yours.
Okay. This is very good question. How do you view the action and cooperation that has been done by MNC and government, and does it enough to end marine plastic pollution? So the action and cooperation between multinational corporation, MNC, and government are crucial in addressing marine plastic pollution. While progress has been made, it's widely recognized that more needs to be done to effectively combat this issue. So some area where improvement can be made about the cooperation between multinational corporation and government, such as like the strengthen regulation and policy, because government should implement and enforce stricter regulation and policy to reduce plastic production, encourage recycling and waste management, and hold pollution industry accountable. The next, collaboration and transparency between government and MNC should work together in transparent and collaborative manner to address marine plastic pollution. This includes sharing data, research, and the best practice, as well as engaging in regular dialogue to identify common goals and develop effective strategy. And then extend collaboration beyond industry sector. Government and MNC should engage with the wide range of stakeholders, including NGO, local scientific institutions. Collaboration beyond industry sector can lead to innovative solution, collective action, and more holistic approach to addressing marine plastic pollution. And it's important to note marine plastic pollution require multi-faceted approaching involving government, MNC, civil society, and individual. Continue collaboration, increasing accountability. Continue collaboration, increase accountability, and the implementation of comprehensive strategy are necessary to address complexity of the issue and achieve significant progress in combating marine plastic pollution. Maybe this answer from me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mujizat Alam, for the answer, and for Ms. Nurul Aulia. We hope that the answer is satisfactory. Okay, moving on to the very last question from Rabiu Mahmud Musa. The question is that after applying the process of the 3R system, reduce, reuse, and recycle, is there any process of controlling the minuses of plastics and microplastics in the marine environment?
After implementing the 3R system, reduce, reuse, and recycle, to manage plastic waste, there are several process and strategy that can be employed to control the presence of plastic and microplastic in the marine environment. Some key approach is the one is improve waste management. Effective waste management system can help prevent plastic waste from entering the marine environment. The second, enhance recycling technology. Investing in advanced recycling technology can facilitate the efficient processing of plastic waste. And source reduction and product design, encouraging development and adoption of eco-friendly and sustainable alternative to single-use plastic is crucial. Government, business, and consumer should support initiatives that promote the use of biodegradable or compostable material, as well as encourage manufacturer to adopt more environmentally friendly packaging and product design. So it's important to note that controlling plastic and microplastic in the marine environment is a complex and ongoing challenge. A combination of this strategy, along with continued research, technological advancement, and the collective effort of government, industry, and individual, will be crucial in achieving significant progress in mitigating plastic pollution in our ocean. Maybe this answer for me.
Thank you, Mr. Mujizat Alam, and to Rabiu Mahmud Musa. We hope that answered your question. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of our session, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for Mr. Mujizat Alam and his exceptional expertise and insights that have been shared today. This pressing issue of ocean plastic pollution is something that we have to be aware of, and therefore we hope that our webinar for today is able to raise awareness and offer several solutions towards this problem. We are immensely thankful for his valuable contributions to our webinar, and to honor Mr. Mujizat Alam's remarkable dedication, we would like to present a well-deserved certificate of appreciation. Okay, to Mr. Mujizat Alam, we would like to ask for your consent for taking a picture with this certificate of appreciation. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more time, 1, 2, 3. Once more, let's give a virtual round of applause to exceptional speaker, Mr. Mujizat Alam, for his outstanding contribution to our webinar. And for Mr. Mujizat Alam, if you have any closing remarks, the floor is yours.
Ocean plastic pollution is a significant environmental issue with several consequences for marine ecosystem and human health. Plastic waste, including single-use plastic and microplastic, pose the threat to marine life. As animal can ingest or become entangled in the debris. The young generation, like us, play a crucial role in addressing ocean plastic pollution. We have demonstrated a growing awareness and activism toward environmental issue, demanding action and promoting sustainable practice. Some key point regarding the young generation for us and ocean plastic pollution: awareness and advocacy, behavioral change, education and empowerment, innovation and entrepreneurship, collaboration and partnership, future leader and change maker from all of you. It's vital to support and amplify the effort of the young generation in combating ocean plastic pollution by providing with resources, platform, and opportunity. We can harness our energy and creativity to bring about meaningful change and work toward a cleaner and a healthier marine environment. Thank you. Thank you has invited me to give insight to this event webinar.
Thank you, Mr. Mujizat Alam, for your. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Mujizat Alam, and we look forward to meeting again in the future. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to encourage you to not leave the Zoom yet, as we still have a lot of agendas ahead. Now, I would like to hand the microphone back to our talented MC Roini to continue on with our next agenda. Thank you all for your active participation, and let's give one final round of applause to Mr. Mujizat Alam for his exceptional presentation. My name is Dadun Rahma Amrul, and I am signing out.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, our beloved moderators. Well, we are already listened the amazing material from our two speakers, and this is the time you've been waiting for. As Rachel stated, we will enter the game session. For the one best delegates, we'll get a door prize e-money, and for the winners of the games, we'll get a door prize too, of course. I will take over the game session. For all participants, please open the quizzes, and you guys can enter the games code at the chat columns on the share screen. I will give you 1 minute to join. For all participants, please open the quizzes and enter the games code. Thank you, Mr. Mujizat Alam. Okay, guys, we will start the game in 2030. 1 minute again. And as announced before, the winner will get e-money. So guys, let's focus on doing as much as possible. In a minute, we will start the games. If you ready, you can react or raise hand or typing ready on the chat Zoom. Okay, have many have joined it. There are already 73, 70, 76. Well, now let's start the game in 1, 2, 3. Okay, all done. We have got 3 winners. Itu di end dulu. Okay, we have got 3 winners. The first is Rayhan Rizal, second is Nabila, and number 3 is Shauki. For the 3 winners of the game session, please raise hand and turn on your camera. The spotlight. One more for Nabila. Can raise hand and turn on your camera. Hello Nabila, if you on the Zoom right now, please confirmation. Okay, thank you guys. Please turn on your camera for say hi to the all participant in this Zoom. And for documentation session. Okay, thank you. Maybe for the first winner, Raihan Rizal can introduce yourself or say hi for all participants in this Zoom.
Hello, my name is Raihan Rizal. I'm from UPN Veteran Jawa Timur. Thanks.
Okay, for Nabila. May you introduce yourself?
Hello. My name is Nabila. I'm from UIN Palembang.
And then for Muhammad Syauqi Wimbadi, can introduce yourself, please?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Muhammad Syauqi Wimbadi, and I'm from Jenderal Sudirman University. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Okay, thank you. And congratulations for the winner games. And nice to meet you guys. And now we will take a photo session for the winners. The committee of documentation session is invited to lead. I will instruction. I will instruction the photo session and 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. For the winners, please contact the committee after this event is over. Thank you. Can unraise hand?
Halo, Assalamualaikum. Halo.
Iya, halo, kedengeran Pak.
Okay, for the winners, the contact person will announce in the group Sriwijaya Welfare Festival webinar. And next, I will announce the best delegates from this event. Congratulations for Anissa as the best delegates today. Maybe for Anissa can raise hand and turn on the camera. Okay. Halo Anissa.
Halo.
Can you introduce yourself first?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Anissa. I'm from Muhammadiyah University in Palembang, and I'm so happy that I win the best delegates of this webinar. Thank you for the committee and all the speakers.
Okay, thank you, Anissa. Maybe we will take the photo session for the committee of documentation session is invite delete. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much, Anissa from UMP. Anissa can contact the committee. Event is over. The contact person will share at WhatsApp group. And now is the time to fill the closing absent or attendance link. The committee can share the link in the chat column, please. Okay guys, if you already fill in the attendance link, we next the event, and this is what you're waiting for. This is a time to announce the winner of competition that have been held. I will announce the winner name of the competition. For the first is speech competition. The winner is speech competition is Habibi Fauzan Hendriansyah from Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, and number 2, Putu Mas Isyundra Kesuma from Universitas Udayana, and number 3, Kristiana Bondan Wicaksaninggali from SMA Negeri 2 Tangerang Selatan. Congratulations. And next, I will announce the winner of SI competition. Okay, the winner of SI competition is Wilbert Bernardi, Pharmacy North Sumatera University. And number 2 is Andini Hardianti from Economic Education Sriwijaya University. And number 3, Zahra Nadira from High School Plus number 17 Palembang. For all winner, please contact the committee or contact person of the contest. And next, I will announce the winner of infographic competition. Congratulations for the winner of infographic competition. Emmanuel Nicholas Francetta S. from Polytechnic Statistika, STIS. And number 2, Davas Prasetya Putra from Universitas Sriwijaya. And number 3, Dewi Ayu Lestari from Universitas Trunojoyo Madura. Once again, for all winner, please contact the contact person for the on the contest, and we will take a photo session. We will take a photo session for all the winners. For all the winners, please raise hand and active your camera, please.
Hello, am I audible? Excuse me, am I audible?
For all the winners, please raise hand. It's okay if you not turn on the camera, just please raise hand. We will take a documentation session for the winner on this event. We will wait until 2050 for all winners. I hope you can raise hand and turn on the camera if you can. Hello to the winner, please raise your hand because we have time limit. Thank you. Okay, guys, maybe some the winners have technical issue for raise hand, and we will continue the take photo session for our two winners has raised hand right now. The documentation session committee can okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, congratulations to the winner. For the winner, please contact the committee after the event. And for those who have won, don't be discouraged. You are cool, and most importantly, you have the courage, the competent in international event. And finally, we get to the last session in this event is closing. Let's close this event with gratitude as a master of ceremony. Thanks to Ms. Rainbow Leung and Mr. Mujizat Alam as the speaker, and thanks to the committee and the audience entirely. May we have the conducted will be useful for us today. We thanks to everyone because today webinar has gone smoothly. And I, as the Master of Ceremonies and the entire organizing committee, apologize if there are attitudes or words that are not pleasing. I'm Roni Aristi, say goodbye and see you at the next event. Thank you all. Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Halo. Halo semua.
Halo Zana.
Halo Kak Zana.
Congrats ya. Keren banget sumpah. Gimana Rona udah bisa bernapas dengan lega? Gimana Belva?
Masih ada nggak orang?
Kalian di mana, lantai 4 ya?
Lantai 4.
Yeay, selamat ya udah kelar juga akhirnya webinarnya.
Dengung ya.
Gimana? Best delegates kita nih ya. Nah. Impostor paling keren. Bisa banget.
Onkan dulu Anissa mana? Kenapa dia request join loh ya? Dia tuh nggak dulu. Nggak usah dia. Ya remote aja.
Gimana? Sudah aman kah? Recordingnya jangan lupa dimatiin ya, nanti kita ketahuan. Coba sebelum kita ngomongin orang, dimatiin dulu.
Belum, masih record.